starting an abstract. This is all cut out as best I can. My next step is to take all of the tape off and run it through the grinder. Okay, because one of the things that some folks may not realize is that, you know, a lot of the glass that's in here had come from a company that makes church windows, and that's all they make. And for some reason, this glass that I used in here didn't make it into a church window, for whatever reason. And I had a young lady that saved it for me, and she would call me up and say, "Jack, I got a box of glass," and there'd be heads and faces and hands and body parts and pieces that never made it into a stained glass window, or church window, like it was supposed to. She has since come down with a variation of Lou Gehrig's disease. She was one of their master glass painters. She did the faces, she did the hands, she did all the beautiful stuff like John Cava. Oh, there's another guy, John Calvaretti or something, you know, who was a master glass painter and is teaching classes somewhere, somehow. I've never taken the class. I don't have enough electricity in my studio to be able to do stuff like that. This place is a tinderbox, you know. They already had a fire in this building in 1924. That's how my studio got added on to the building. So, but what they did was they cut the glass, and they did the painting, and they did the firing, but they didn't run it through a grinder to get all the sharp edges and the flares off. So those are still there. Of course, you know, they did run it through a kiln, and that softens the edges, and they would be putting into a leaded glass window, so it really doesn't matter. But for me, and to copper foil this, and to make it safe for me copper foiling, and safe for whoever might be helping me copper foiling, I have to go and run all these pieces through a grinder, okay, and get some of the little nibs and corners and things off, and the flares that resulted from my cutting the glass, okay, and then I can copper foil it. Now, because I still have the circle cutter set up for this radius, as I get things ground and fit to fit better, I'll take a piece of scrap glass and cut it to go down here as kind of a base, and I can tack that down instead of having, you know, pin, you know, to knock everything out of the way. And usually when I do an abstract and I grind it, what happens is it shrinks slightly because I get all the sharp edges off, okay, and it fits a hell of a lot better, okay, and when it shrinks, then I copper foil it, and the copper foil makes it grow again, grow back up to where it should be in the diameter, which in this case is going to be like 20 inches. So thought you'd like to see that rough explanation. And when I get it all done, because there's so much glass in here that is so dark, holding it up to the light is almost, I don't know if you can even see that or not. Okay, some of this stuff is so dark, like I showed you before at the beginning of a couple of videos, I had to put a flashlight behind it. So even when I get this done and it's hung in a window, it's only going to light up in some places with direct sunlight. Okay, or, you know, if, like they used to say in the Space Defense Initiative, a bomb pump laser in order for it to light up. So thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.